12 months ago, I invested £10,000 into a single fund on Trading 212. In this video, I want to go through how it's performed, the ups and downs along the way, but in general, just show a real investment, the journey of a real investment over the past 12 months. This is an update from my video 6 months ago, where I showed how investment of £10,000 performed over 6 months, and I had a few comments asking what the investment looked like now, so here's that video showing how it's performed, what's happened since then. Now, before we dive in, it's important to mention this is not investment advice, and the most important thing to mention here is that past performance is not indicative of future results. Just because my investment performed like this over the past year, there's no guarantees going forward. Investments can go down as well as up in value, and in general, you should always have a long-term mindset with investing. I'm showing how my investment performed in the last 12 months because a lot of people like to see how actual investments perform, an actual journey, not fake numbers, a real investment, what happened. So for the context here, why did I have £10,000 to invest? It's because in June 2025, I was transferring an ISA from a different provider into Trading 212, and I had a big lump of cash available to invest because my old provider didn't offer in-specie transfer out. In species, when you can move your investments directly without having to sell them, I couldn't do that method of transfer, so I had to do a cash transfer. I sold my investments on my previous platform and then moved that cash to Trading 212. So therefore, I had a big lump of cash, about £23,000 to invest, and I invested that over the course of 2 days, and this £10,000 was on the first day. There's no good reason why I split the investment over 2 days. I can't even remember why I did it. Maybe I was overthinking it. Maybe life got in the way, but the reality is I split the investment over 2 days. So on that first day, I had £10,000 to invest. I invested into SPDR MSCI All Country World Index Tracking ETF, ticker ACWI. So that's quite a mouthful there, but this is just a global index tracking ETF. Global index meaning it contains stocks from both developed and emerging markets. Think of an index as like a list, and in this case, this list is a list of companies all around the world, and then the ETF, the fund, the exchange traded fund, tracks that index. It's tracking the MSCI All Country World Index. If we break down the name of the ETF, SPDR is the fund provider, the ETF provider. It's one of many. Other popular fund providers are Vanguard, Invesco, X-Trackers, JP Morgan, WisdomTree, the list goes on. It's one of many. This global fund in particular tracks around 2,300 stocks, as I mentioned, from both developed and emerging markets. And you can see the top 10 on screen here. It's dominated by the likes of Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, so on and so forth. And although it contains over 2,300 stocks from 40 plus countries, it's dominated by the USA, as you can see here. This is because it's market cap weighted. That's the same reason why some stocks dominate it as well. It's market cap weighted, which means the greater the market value of a company, the greater the weighting it has in the index and therefore the ETF. In other words, it just tracks the market. As stock prices move up and down, then their weighting in the index and ETF will move up and down as well. This is considered one of the most passive approaches to investing. It's passive in the sense that there's no manager trying to beat the market. I'm not making bets on any particular type of stock here. I'm just tracking the performance of the market. I'm not betting on any single stock, any single sector, any single country. I'm just getting that passive global approach. I'm letting the market decide the weightings. And at the moment, that means that certain tech stocks do have a large weighting, and it does mean the US dominates. But importantly, with a global market cap weighted index tracking ETF, it rebalances over time. So if things change, then so will the weightings in a global index. As an example of this, back in the 1980s, Japan actually had the largest weighting in an index. Nowadays, it's the USA. If things change in the future, then so will the weightings in the index and the ETF. And finally, looking at the original purchase, I purchased 53 shares at £185.11, £185.11 being the share price, and that brought a total of £9,810.83. So it is almost £10,000. As I mentioned in the video 6 months ago, I'm just rounding up. It looks better in a title to say £10,000 invested. I hope you think that's okay. And here's a quick recap on screen to show how the investment performed in the first 6 months. It was an incredible 6 months. 1 month in, we were £311 up. And by the November to December period, month 6, we were at the start of December, we were at £1,599 up, or 16.3%. So a great start, and I certainly wasn't complaining. That was incredible for a globally diversified investment. Before we move on to the next 6 months, I do want to take a quick moment to thank Trading 212 for sponsoring today's video. As I am an affiliate partner of Trading 212, if you are new to the app, you can claim up to £100 in free fractional shares when you sign up and deposit at least £1 yourself via my link in the description, or by scanning the QR code on screen if you're watching on TV. Alternatively, within 10 days of opening your account, you can go to the menu page, use promo code section, type in Tom, and that'll allow you to claim your free fractional shares. Please do remember that when investing, your capital is at risk and the value of investments can go down as well as up. Thanks again to Trading212 for sponsoring today's video. Okay, month 7. This is the December to January period, so the share price at the start of January was £214.98, and this was actually slightly down from where we were at the end of last video, the start of December, down by £16.43, minus 0.14%. So no movements either way, really, slightly down. Obviously, I wasn't too fussed either way here. Then on to month 8, we started seeing a bigger green movement. January to February, share price at the start of February was £218.26, bringing the total value to $11,567. Total return 17.91%. We're up 1.53% or £173 from the previous month. Then on to month 9, this is the February to March period. So on the start of March, the share price was £222.48. We're up again, nearly to £11,800 in value here from that initial investment, and total return £1,980, breaching that 20% total return mark, up £223 from the previous month. Now, on to this next month, this is where we actually saw a red movement in the portfolio going down because of all the geopolitical tensions that were going on in the world. I'm not going to go too much into that because we all know what happened earlier in this year and it's still ongoing to some degree. And we can see that the share price by the start of April was £214.54. So quite a significant dip, not a crash, but definitely a dip from where we were the previous month. And the value of my investment was £11,370.62. And rather than being a total return of 20.19% we were in the previous month, it's now down to 15.9%, a movement of £420 down from where we were last month. And I like that there were some red months in this period that's overall been very good, because it's good to show that investments aren't always like this. And there will be periods in the future where there's many negative months in a row, just how there's many green months in a row. In the future, there could be many red months in a row. I invest with a long-term mindset. I don't invest money that I need within the next 5 years minimum. That allows me time to ride out the volatility. If I invested money that I needed in the short term and then there were red months or red years, then that could land me in some difficulty. So it's really important to only invest money that you can put away for the long term. And even though this period that I'm showing looks like a great time to be an investor, super important to remember that it's not always like that. Investments do go down as well as up. And although investing money for the long term into sensible, diversified investments can yield good results, it does come with volatility and there's never any guarantees. Okay, month 11, April to May, the share price is now £227.90. So we saw an incredibly quick recovery. We're even above where we were in that February to March period. So we've recovered all those losses and gained some. And I think this has led to some people being spoilt, really, in the sense that whenever there has been a dip in the last year or so, the market has recovered super quickly. We saw the same thing last year as well when Trump did his tariffs last year. We had a big dip or crash and then it recovered a month or two later. So it can lead new investors to think that dips and crashes aren't that scary because it always recovers that quickly. No, sometimes dips and crashes can last months, years. It's just in this last couple of years when we've had dips and crashes, they've recovered super quickly. Who knows what will happen in the future? But anyway, the value of the investment now was £12,078 plus 23% total return, or £708, 6.23% month on month. Over 6% up in a month on a global fund is incredible. And then finally, month 12, May to June. So at the start of June, the share price was £241.35. Value of investment, nearly £12,800. Total return, just shy of £3,000, £2,980.72. Total, that is 30.38%. And that is another 5.9% up from the previous month, £712. So a 30% total return on an initial investment 12 months ago in a simple, global, diversified fund. That is incredible. What a great time it has been to be an investor. Okay, so I wanted to finish the video by going through some of my thoughts on some things to keep in mind, because it's no good just showing these numbers without going through a few things and just making sure we're all being realistic and understanding that not every year is like this. So you can see here, I've got a chart from Curvo.eu. This shows the MSCI All Country World Index returns in GBP calendar years since 1988. And you can see there's been plenty of green years, but there's also been red years. And although the last 30, 40 years have been a great time to be an investor, you can still see there has been some significant red years. And for all you know, you could start investing just before the next big red year. And it's just important to understand this, that The market, the reason why stocks, equities deliver good returns over the long term, the reason why they have delivered good returns over the long term is because you're taking on risk. You're taking on what's called the equity risk premium. You're expecting a premium because you're taking on the risk of equities. And risk in this sense of stocks is usually shown by volatility. Stocks are more volatile than cash, therefore you should expect some sort of premium over the long term. And you can see, although this is calendar years, and in my investment here, it was June to June. So June to June, I made a 30% total return, but this is calendar years, so it's not exactly the same. But you can see the best years, calendar years, 34.5% in 1989, 30% in 2016, and almost 30% in 1993. So you can see in this June to June period, it's up there with some of the best calendar years over the last 30, 40 years. So putting it in the context of being up there with those best years, it does show that it has been an exceptional time. Look at the worst years as well, just to show it is possible. You can lose money on even globally diversified investments. Diversification reduces risk, it doesn't eliminate it. Part of my payday routine, I just get into the market. You can see here my deposits, my recent deposits into this fund. I'm investing every single month, regardless of what's happening. And that's it really. I'm going for a simple passive approach into a global diversified fund because it suits me, my risk tolerance. I like the diversification. I like the low costs. I like the hands-off approach. And you need to do your own research, work out the best type of investment for you. But the key thing is investments don't have to be super exciting. You don't have to be chasing hot stocks, conducting deep research, trying to keep up with every last little thing. You can do if you want to. That is definitely an option. And you can do that on Trading 212 and other investment platforms. But there's also a different type of investing, diversification, that can be a good option as well. It doesn't always have to be the super hot, exciting stocks that everyone talks about. So to sum up, you can see that I've made some great returns over the past 12 months, but my strategy doesn't change based on what the market is doing. I'm not now thinking that right now it's time to sell, now it's time to take profits and get out of the market, because I believe that I don't know when the market's going to change. I don't know when it's going to be a red year. I don't know when it's going to be a green year. So I just keep on investing. And someone did ask me in the comments last video if I take profits, and I don't take profits because I'm investing for the long term. And if I take profits, I'm interrupting that compounding. I have less in my portfolio to compound. Compounding works because you're earning returns on your returns. If you remove your returns, take those profits, then compounding can't happen because you remove the ability to compound by taking those profits. And of course, I could lose more by not taking profits, but it goes back to that point where I believe I can't time the market. I'll keep on investing, and by keep on investing, sometimes I'll get a good price, sometimes I'll get a bad price. And yeah, investing can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be, but that's it. I just wanted to show 12 months journey of a real investment. I hope that was interesting. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.